Hey everyone, Ivy League Gaming here, and today we're playing Raid Shadow Legends, and we have a What's Next in Raid video dropping for us a little bit early, so let's dive right in and get a live reaction. Haven't seen it yet.
Hey everyone, welcome to our latest edition of What's Next in Raid, where we'll be talking all about what's coming next in Raid. We've got a whole lot to wriggle through today, so let's just slither right into it. First up, the Guardian Ring. Some of you may have already seen our other video dedicated entirely to the Guardian Ring, but if not, don't worry. We're going to coil our explanation up into a small ball of cold, hard facts. The Guardian Ring is primarily here to give everyone a way to use their duplicate champions. It'll be replacing the current sparring pit in your Bastion, but you won't be losing the sparring pit you know and love. It's just shedding its old skin and being upgraded with a bunch of new additions. The first new add-on is Faction Guardians, where you assign a special council of champions for each faction that gives champions of their respective rarity within that faction a global stats boost. You'll be able to assign Guardians for rare, epic, and legendary champions, and with this feature, you'll get to have your cake and eat it too, because you still get to keep your Faction Guardians and use them in battle. It's going to be a huge boost to early and mid-game players who probably won't have any duplicate legendaries in their collections, but will more than appreciate being able to strengthen their rares and epics to help them climb over some of those tougher raid hurdles. The stats boost itself is nothing to hiss at, and will be approximately half as strong as the bonuses from a maxed out Great Hall. It'll give you a lot of freedom when it comes to tweaking and adjusting your champion builds and play styles, as well as your Great Hall upgrade strategy, now that you'll have an additional layer of boosts too on top. The other two additions are exclusively for duplicate legendary champions.
So before we continue, just a quick thought with the Faction Guardians. Keep in mind, just because you want to max out everything, be careful what you're maxing out, I should say. If there's no reason to save a bunch of dupe rares and do 5 rares with dupes, keep them in your vault, wasting space if you don't even use rares in that particular faction. Now, of course, it's like they said, it's going to help early game players, but for a lot of end game players, which rares do you really use? Cold Heart? So save some Dark Elves. Maybe Apothecary still from Faction Wars or something. Save some High Elves. Besides that, there's really not a ton of rares that a lot of super endgame players are going to be using, so there's no point to save extras, at least at the moment. Don't go crazy. We know that you can get some rares pretty easily, but for early game, it's such a huge help, and I'm really glad that they are adding in that for the rares and epics. I am still bummed that we have to keep the characters to get the bonuses, though, because again, it's just taking up pointless vault space, making us keep 2 of multiple characters, and ones we're probably not even going to use, besides what? 2 Cold Hearts? Other than that, how much? Maybe 2 Soul Bomb Boyars for that lovely secret room. But other than that, how many of 2 rares do we really need? So it's actually kind of encouraging us to keep dupes of things we don't need. So that part I'm not a fan of, personally. But let's move on to the one that we're all freaking out about. Oh boy.
Champions. First, you can empower champions using their own duplicates or some surrogates if you can't get more than one of that champion, like Lydia. Empowering
So overpowered, so broken, still think that.
will help you beef up your champions to make them extra tanky, extra killy, or extra whatever you've built them for. We don't want empowered legendaries to become unbeatable demigods, so we're capping empowerment. You'll only be able to empower a champion up to 4 times. Last on this list, but certainly not least, Champion Unbinding. If you're sure you have no use for a duplicate legendary champion, you'll be able to permanently release them from your service in exchange for a life token. You'll then be able to take those life tokens and trade them for a new legendary champion at the token trader. We'll be adding a bunch of special champions to the token trader over time, including some that were available via fusion events in the past. So expect to see Molly Tankard, Manaya, Fushan, and the new and improved Tomb Lord in the near future. In fact, community favorite Sir Nicholas will be coming to town very soon, so you'll be able to hand out some gifts of festive fury to some very unlucky boys and girls. All right, that's the big...
Before we move on past the dupe system, we do want to stress something super important. The second this is released, don't just go crunching all of your champions for life tokens. We don't know what the Hydra boss is exactly going to bring to the table, plus initial opinions might change. Give it some time. Give content creators, give yourselves, give the community a bit of time to play with the Hydra boss and figure out what we really need for skills, abilities, and champions before you crunch your Tilas, your whatever. Who knows? Maybe they're gonna be useful. So just tread lightly when it comes to crunching your dupes. They have wanted us to stress that, and I completely agree. We should be treading very lightly with who you're going to crunch because we don't know what's going to become more available in the future, or maybe they have some buffs in store for some champions that were not so great that will be good for Hydra Boss. So just be cautious with crunching your dupes. Personally, I don't think I'm going to crunch a single dupe except for anything that I would have more than 4 of for empowerment, which I don't have any of. So I think even though I'm excited and I really want a Fully and I really want a Sir Nick, I'm going to wait and make sure that I have solid teams for the Hydra Boss before we just go crunching everything. And make sure your Hydra Boss teams are set, and you've actually played and done well with Hydra Boss after it's come out, whenever that is. Maybe they're going to tell us. But yeah, don't crunch everything right away. They're stressing this highly. That was a note made to us to tell our community about this because I bet there's going to be some surprising champions that have been vaulted for a long time that are actually super valuable for the clan boss, or for the Hydra Boss. So wait, be patient, don't go too crazy.
Update squirming its way in game very soon, but that's not all. Let's take a quick fire look at a bunch of other updates we're bringing to Raid soon. First, the Shadowkin are getting their own faction crypt. It means more milestone rewards, but you'll still have to finish every crypt if you want Lydia. So if you're close to finishing already, you might want to finish the job before you have another crypt to complete. Second, we're renovating the tavern. We're adding a filter that only shows champions that are eligible for each type of upgrade, as well as the ability to change the sorting orders from ascending to descending. XP brews will also be grouped together in a single slot to make things quicker and easier to manage. And we're also adding a slider to make it even easier to beef up your champions in one go. Third, we're adding rank and rarity filters to the artifact storage, as well as making it possible to select all the artifacts you filtered for with one tap, so you can sell your gear in bulk. Fourth, and my personal favorite, changes to save teams and skill instructions.
Okay, I'm happy.
We're increasing the number of save teams to 15, and we'll be dividing them up by game mode so you have 15 for each mode. We're also making it possible to create farming setups that you can run in multi-battle mode, along with being able to set different skill instructions for each round of a battle separately. Alongside these changes, we're exploring some options for how to make it quicker and easier for everyone to speed things up throughout the game, starting with Faction Wars and the Doom Tower. We're going to be kicking things off by enabling super raids for Doom Tower boss fights. And to keep things fresh in battles, we're also adding a new buff and debuff pair that increases or decreases resistance in battle. Being able to have an enemy's resistance is no joke, and we think these effects will add a new layer of strategy to Raid's battles across the board, including introducing completely new team compositions and archetypes. And since we're on the subject of new team compositions, the best thing for that is new champions. A bit of a tradition here on our What's Next series. What you're looking at now is a first sneak peek into the next line of dungeon delving. Boss-beating badasses coming to Teleria in the near future. Okay, that's all we've got for you. Oh, wait, one last thing. The Hydra. You might have already seen a few leaks from Raid's sleuth-like detective community about the Hydra already, but if you haven't, here's a full breakdown of what will be Raid's toughest, scariest, and biggest boss fight. The Hydra is our second clan boss, in addition to the Demon Lord you're all well acquainted with. However, it's a bit different than just fighting one boss. You all know the old commonly used adages, 4 heads are better than 1, 4 snakes in the hand are worth 12 in the bush, the more serpents the better. Well, they're all true in Raid World too. This unkillable beast will be bringing 4 heads to every fight, each with
Do you like how they kept panning to the right even more? As if there's going to be another future type of clan boss added to the mix. There's enough space for another one of those lovely little icons, isn't there? I mean, this game is never going to stop growing. They're not dumb. They know what they're doing.
Totally unique skills and mechanics to deal with. Actually, it'll be bringing 6 heads, but you'll only have to deal with 4 at any one time. We'll get into that a bit later, but first, let's break down the basics. It's a big fight, and you'll need reinforcements, so you'll be taking 6 champions into each Hydra battle. And just like the other clan bosses, the Demon Lord, you'll be battling the Hydra to chase high scores and win huge rewards. You'll be fighting to stay alive as long as possible and deal as much damage as you can along the way. However, unlike the Demon Lord, the Hydra will be running on a different cycle. While the Demon Lord resets every single day, the Hydra will reset once a week. On top of that, you'll only get 3 Hydra keys per week, so you and your clan will have more flexibility to figure out when you want to take the Hydra on. So the Hydra will reset every week, and things will stay pretty much the same week to week. You'll fight the same Hydra with a mixture of those same heads. Each head will be tied to a certain affinity, so you'll be able to figure out a good strategy over time to deal with the current challenge. Predictable, easy, right? But here's the twist. Every 4 weeks, a new rotation will start. This means, just like the Doom Tower, shuffling the pack. Each head will be paired with a new affinity, and the 4 starting heads you have to deal with will change. And in the future, when we add more heads, it'll mean entirely new combinations of 6 heads and a whole new challenge. To make things even tougher, once you've used a champion in a Hydra battle, you won't be able to use them again until after the next weekly reset. So looking to lock in a single, gimmicky team is off the table here. You're going to need
Come on,
3
man.
unique teams that can stand up to the challenge to get the most out of the Hydra.
Oh
then,
my gosh.
every month, re-examine your strategy again because the script may very well have been flipped. Because each head is so unique, you won't be able to use the same tricks every time. We're not going to cover each head's skills right now, but here's a quick snapshot of the 6 heads you'll be fighting against in the first rotation of the Hydra. The head of Torment, the head of Decay, the head of Wrath, the head of Blight, the head of Suffering, and my personal favorite, the head of Mischief. If those names alone don't sound scary enough, wait until you see them in battle. Things get real crazy.
They look really
You'll
cool.
be fighting 4 of these heads at the same time, and you'll be fighting hard to stay alive and deal out as much pain as possible. You'll want to cut off the Hydra's heads to maximize your damage, but cutting off a head doesn't mean you only have to fight against 3 heads. Remember how we said the Hydra brings 6 heads? Well, if you do manage to decapitate a head, another will grow back. You cut off the head of Blight, and it might come back with a vengeance, or it might be replaced by the head of Decay or head of Torment, whichever the 5th and 6th heads are in the current rotation. So, endless pain for your team. But don't worry, you have 6 champions, and it only has 4 heads. You have the numbers advantage. It's going to be like shooting snakes in a barrel. Not exactly. This beast has another trick up its sleeve. It's also going to be trying to eat you. Every so often, one of your champions will get eaten by one of the heads. Now, just like in real life, these Hydras have long necks and stomachs in their necks. So you have a few turns to chop off that Hydra's head before it fully digests and consumes your champion.
I love that.
If you slice
I
the
hate
head
that,
off,
but I
you
love that.
free your champion and they're back in battle. If you don't,
Pukes them
they're
back
dead
out.
and gone. And we really mean gone. You won't be able to revive them, and you'll have one champion missing for the rest of the fight. Sounds like a tough battle, and it is, but the rewards are more than worth it. To recap, you fight the Hydra just like you fight the clan boss. Higher scores, better rewards. Rewards will be earned in the form of Hydra chests, given out at the weekly reset. And better yet, if your clan manages to fully deplete the Hydra's HP, you
Fragments.
get double the rewards. Let's talk about what those rewards are. Aside from the obvious things like Clan Gold, Clan XP, there are some serious rewards on offer.
He looks
First,
cool.
you'll be able to win fragments for an exclusive champion, Mithrala Lifebane. We're already taking huge inspiration from Greek mythos here, and Mithrala fits into that perfectly. We'll be releasing a
He's
dedicated
cool.
champion spotlight for Mithrala soon,
I
but
love
as
her
you'd
already.
expect from someone that looks like Medusa's long-lost sister, she's going to be able to poison people. Oh, and turn people to stone. That's a thing now, too. It's a really scary debuff that can
petrification.
take people out of the fight entirely, with a downside or two. We'll cover it in greater detail soon, but let's just say in the right hands, with the strategy, it's going to be a game changer. That reward's simple. New champions are never a bad thing, but what about unique rewards or new mechanics? Oh, I'm glad you asked. You'll also be able to win a whole new type of artifact from Hydra chests. We're not talking just a new buff or boosted stats, but an entirely new breed of artifacts that give you set bonuses depending on how many you have equipped. These special variable artifacts will give you an extra bonus with only one of their kind equipped, then another bonus if you equip 2, 3, 4, or even
Oh, I
a full
love
6
that.
of them.
I love
These are
that.
unlike any other artifact sets in Raid and will
Love
open up
that.
huge possibilities in terms of artifact combos and builds. Right off the bat, we'll have 2 of these special variable artifact sets. Set 1, Stone Skin. Equipping a single artifact from this set will give your champion a modest but useful 8% HP boost. Equip 2, and you also get an extra 40 resistance on top. But equip 4, and you'll get access to an entirely new defensive buff called Stone Skin, which you'll get for 1 turn at the start of the round. Stone Skin will mean your champion takes almost no damage from enemy attacks, and makes your champion immune to all debuffs except for bombs. In fact, bombs will actually do more damage as they can shatter your champion. but it's still a great trade-off for all the benefits of Stone Skin. That's if you equip 4, but equip 6 and you get 2 turns of Stone Skin, plus a boatload more stat boosts. The next set's called a protection set, and it works the same way. Equip 1, 2, or 3 artifacts and get extra stats, but at 4, the set has a chance to protect any buff the wearer casts or receives. Protected buffs can't be removed or stolen, so this set is sure to be invaluable to any champion whose buffs are the bedrock of your team. Just like the Stone Skin set, this becomes even more powerful at 6 pieces. The protection chance increases, plus you have the benefits of all the other stat boosts along the way. If the special mechanics alone weren't enough for you to want those sets, how about raw power and strength alone? Stone Skin and protection artifacts will be available in an entirely new rarity, Mythical. Mythical artifacts are a step up from legendary artifacts in strength, and you won't be able to find these anywhere else. Mythical artifacts start with all 4 substats unlocked, but one of the substats will be increased to the equivalent of a level 4 legendary artifact, meaning you'll be able to eke out a little bit more power from mythical artifacts than legendary ones. It's a small edge, but at the highest level, those small margins make a big difference. As you can probably tell, these artifacts will be incredibly versatile and useful pretty much anywhere, no matter whether you're focusing on PvP or PvE. The Hydra is a huge update, and we'll be gradually adding more content to it over time, with awesome new rewards and terrifying new heads. And we're super excited to see what you guys think of it. And that's it. Whew, that's a lot. We hope you enjoyed our latest preview video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We've got a lot of exciting content in the works, and you definitely don't want to miss.
Holy man, holy cow, I can't even talk. Alright, well that's a lot, and it's an awesome update. Every time they do these What's Next in Raid videos, we are all pumped, let's be honest. They always have something amazing coming. Still think the empowerment is a bit too much. Those new artifacts seem crazy broken too, but don't seem like they're going to be the easiest to obtain. Hopefully not too quickly at least, but looks like the speeds are going to get crazy in this game. If you're already struggling for speed, my god, it's going to get crazy. But it is what it is. Everyone else is going to get those pieces too, so it's a lot. This is cool. I love the Hydra mechanics. I think the visuals are amazing, like they always do such a good job of. The spitting back out your champion after they eat them, that's so great, I love it. But the quality of life, that's some of the things I'm most excited about. Besides new content, I've still one that doesn't think we need new content. Plenty to do every day, let's be honest. But quality of life improvements to make gameplay less so that we can have a life and do other stuff, or maybe even play other games besides Raid. Oh wait, they don't want us to do that, just kidding. But for real, really love this update. I'm super pumped. I'm excited and dreading the Hydra boss. It's a whole nother thing to break down and understand and come up with team comps for, but hey, that's what we're all here for, right? Or anyway, let me know in the comments below, guys, what are you most excited for? What quality of life improvements are you the most excited for? Do you already have some ideas on what your clan boss teams are going to be for this new Hydra clan boss? Let me know in the comments below. Let's give some tips. And make sure, again, be careful crunching your dupes. Don't just crunch everyone you think is terrible. Hold on. Wait, let's figure out our team comps for this crazy new boss first and see what other stuff they introduce. And if they're going to be adding new buffs to the game and debuffs, then they're probably going to be redoing or buffing and nerfing some champions. So maybe some of those Vault Lords, Vault Guardians are going to get some love and get those new resistance buffs or debuffs. We'll see. But alright, thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.